あれを放置している時点で察しはつきます。まったく、アリサさんは随分と余裕なのですね。本気で私に勝つつもりなのでしょうか。
何
Alia sometimes hides her feelings in Russian. Today we watched episode number 11. You guys are gonna hate me, and I am fully expected to get some backlash, or at least I'm expected to at least get one comment that's like, what are you smoking, bro? Maybe not in that exact verbiage, but just something that says, I don't agree with you, which is totally okay. I'm prepared for that. I genuinely think today's episode, and again, you guys are gonna, feel a certain way about it. I genuinely think today's episode was really, really boring. And I continue, and I've told you guys the last, 10 episodes, one of the blights, or one of like my sticking points, or one of my main issues with the show is the fact that Yuki and Masachika, Kuze, whatever, that their relationship as brother and sister hasn't been forthright. Now, I completely understand. You don't want the school to know. You don't want the holistic public to know for whatever reason. But the fact is, hiding it from your potential lover, your potential romantic partner, and those who are really close to you, like, I think it's perfectly okay to let them know what the real deal is. And it's even more so, and it's even exaggerated in tenfold with what occurred this episode. Yuki was able to completely manipulate, and she did save the episode for me, okay? Just like always, Yuki's coming in, and she's the best character of the show. She outshines everybody. But she came in, and she played Alia like a fiddle. And she did so with making her think that she has some kind of dead brother or something like that. And all of that could have simply been avoided if Yuki, specifically if Kuze or Masachika, was like, hey, I need to tell you something. I need to keep it under wraps because like X, Y, and Z situation. But, Yuki's actually my sister. And then when they're in close proximity, right? Like maybe Yuki and Kuze are like, maybe like they're not in a public environment. They can talk about that. But I think holding on to this, frankly, really silly, dumbass secret is just going to hurt the relationship even more between Alia and between Kuze and between Alia and between Yuki and everything else. I think it just, I always said like, oh, the whole concept behind the show of hiding that he can understand Russian is already kind of like, a sticky point, you know what I mean? And it's already a little silly, but he's let it go on for too long. But I kind of get it, right? Like you can kind of understand that portion of it. But him not being upfront about Yuki and him being siblings, especially when they have the same face, same hair, like I just think it's a little too much. And the other sticking point that I've had with this show, that again, this episode made it even worse, or made my opinion about it even worse, is the whole So family, Kuze family, like the whole familial situation. His parents are divorced. Get the fuck over it. You know what I mean? Like, his grandpa's a piece of shit. Get the fuck over it. You know what I mean? Like, get over it. Then this episode, it's all about his mom. And his mom was just, she was there. But she was going through whatever she was going through. Like, they made her mom look, it made his mom look like she was like, elderly. But she was like in her 30s or something, right? Even when she was younger, she was always just depressed. Which is understandable in the concept of, we can understand, or at least we can guess, that her mother or his mother, their mother for at least a time, has been manipulated and controlled by the grandpa for whatever reason, and she's allowed it. And we can also assume that said control, said thing, is also what caused his parents to split. It's just putting our brains together. I do wish, though, that the show stopped being wishy-washy and pussyfooting around the concept and just told us what specifically happened. They keep drip feeding it to create some kind of like tension or mystery, but all it does is exponentiate my frustration with not being upfront about this seemingly, frankly, silly situation that no matter what kind of brush they paint it with, I'm still gonna see it as a silly plot hole. I'm still gonna see it as a silly plot line of the show, and it's really unneeded for the concept of what they're trying to accomplish. They're trying to create something out of nothing, and that is a really, for me, you know, as a viewer, it's like my intelligence being questioned through the author's. I don't think they have an idea what they're doing at this point. Now, this may get fleshed out later on in this story, but this is definitely one of those situations where I think the author's like, I think they're gonna like this, but I don't quite know the reasons behind this. But I'm just gonna kind of figure it out as I go, and that always calls into question the viewer's intelligence when this gets adapted later on, because like we're not this stupid. And we can say that these characters who are seemingly so intelligent and violinist and 5.0 GPA super like, so they're this stupid to be just constantly manipulated and allow these things to happen to them. Nah, come on now. So this show just again expanded and just made it even more apparent on how frustrating some of these plot lines are. Now, let me take away the thing, I like that they had a cold that wasn't a death cold. For some reason, every cold, like if you get sick and you get a cold in Japan, it's like you're on your deathbed. I'm glad that they didn't quite treat it that way this time. It was pretty much like a cold really is. He fell a little under the weather, called off from school, took a little medicine, got a little sleepy. He got over it really fast. It wasn't a death cold to where he had to be nursed back to health or something like that. Okay, so I do like that. I like Yuki and her evil side, and I like how she manipulated the shit out of Aaliyah, and she just, she embarrassed her through wits only. I liked that. And I like that Masachika is now remotivated to get back at his sister, and he's actually having a lot of fun. I do like that. It's everything surrounding that is driving me nuts. And it's one of those things where I'm trying to not think about it. I'm trying to just kind of turn my brain off on those things that I just kind of can't let go. But when this show is constantly reminding me of the things I simply don't like about it, it's like, come on, like either tell me everything or tell me nothing, because the way you're doing it is just I'm not a fan of. And I know I'm being really harsh, but that's just kind of really how I feel about this episode. It was boring, and it had a couple of really cool moments. The rest is just really frustrating. I'm fully prepared to own that. So let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. If you don't agree, totally okay. I get it. You know what I mean? These are just my feelings. Hopefully next episode will be much better. So see you then. Can't wait for more. Maybe you guys more fan service next week too. That'd be nice. All right. See you then, my friends. Peace.